Hello, my name is Ryan J. Heathcock. I am the owner and founder of Once Upon a Time. It is YouTube Tuesday, and today we are on location at the Richmond Public Library inside the conference boardroom on the second floor of the downtown branch. Joining us today inside the boardroom is Miss Dianne Watkins Walker. She'll be sharing with us a portion of her oral history and its unique tie to the history of Virginia Union University. We look forward to sharing a part of her story with you today as part one of our Living Legacy series for this Black History Month of 2018.
I am Elizabeth Dianne Nelson Watkins Walker, and my history is unique because I grew up on the campus of Virginia Union in the President's home. My mother had died in childbirth, and my father, who was a barber in New Jersey, said to my mother's only sister, "What am I going to do?" And there's no way in the world I can run two barbershops and raise all four children. So my mother's only sister, Elizabeth, said, "Just send the girl and the baby to Richmond, and we will raise them on the campus." And at that time, John Ellison was president. And life on the campus was so exciting. There were people coming and going all the time. And the campus children, including me, at 4 or 5 years old, had a wonderful time just running around the campus, seeing the students. The students would turn our ropes. We would go to every game, basketball, football, and be there rooting for Virginia Union. And so that was one part. The other part was that the Ellisons often had celebrities in the home, and that was remarkable. Although in those days, children were to be seen and not heard, so sometimes we were shooed away. But people like Marian Anderson came, and Dr. Mordecai Johnson, who was, of course, president of Howard, Dr. Benjamin Mays, who I knew very well. And he knew me, they would enjoy talking to us whenever they could catch us. And so people like that came into the home because the president's home was a guest house, and there was no place in the city for celebrities to go. And so my mother or aunt was the campus hostess, and so she had to entertain them and make sure they were comfortable. And I really would like to make sure that the legacies of John and Elizabeth Ellison are preserved. So I did a whole lot of digging, and I knew that Uncle John was responsible for bringing and paying for the Belgian Friendship Building. That was a gift from the Belgian government to Virginia Union in 1941. The building was in New York at the World's Fair, and it was because Belgium couldn't take their building back. They awarded it to Virginia Union. And through the work of Dr. John W. Clark, who was the president, but who was ill, John Ellison, vice president, John Ellison had the I don't want to say burden, but the responsibility of making sure that building came brick by brick, steel beam by beam to Richmond. In my research, I found that John D. Rockefeller was instrumental in paying for putting the building in trucks from the World's Fair to come to Richmond, from New York to Richmond. And he did accomplish that. But in doing some reading and research with my older brother, Alan, I said, Alan, there were bells in that tower in New York. I read that Herbert Hoover was given the bells by the Belgian government, and he got the bells. So my brother went into the Hoover Presidential Library and said, "Dianne, I found the bells." I said, "Really?" And of course, we found that the bells ring all the ding-dong day from the campus of Stanford University in Palo Alto. And the idea about the piece was that the Belgian government gave those bells to Virginia Union. They could have given those bells to a white institution, but they wanted to be sure that following King Leopold's reign in Belgium, there were many atrocities. They wanted to show that they could demonstrate brotherhood, friendship, and peace. And so for that reason, they selected Virginia Union out of 27 entities who wanted to have the Belgian building. And they selected Virginia Union. They wrote a book out of University of Ghent, documenting the history of the Belgian building. So I have that book.
And for individuals who want to go and take a look at the Belgian building, where exactly is it today?
Right, it's located at 1500 North Lombardy Street on the campus of Virginia Union. University, zip code 23220.
Outstanding. I want to thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your oral history and your story with us today.
Well, thank you so much for having me today. It was really a pleasure.
And happy birthday.
Thank you.